Hello, everyone. I hope everybody is well. I just wanted to welcome you all again to the channel, and I hope everybody is well. So, today we're doing lesson 5, and it's all about authority and submission. So, authority coming into submission, we're talking about God's governance, and it's all about just being able to follow what God wants us to do. We'll look again at the book that we have been reading so far. It's the journey to spiritual maturity, and it is by Jamie Butlerham. So we're doing lesson 5 today, and the ones that missed the other lessons, please do go back to them and have a a picture of the whole book. When you go back to it, it's gonna make more sense. um, Otherwise, as we are up to date, we are getting along with lesson 5, and we look at the journey of the children of Israelites who were led by Moses, that we are able to see that God really loved Moses and how everything he was given to do, even though uncertain with the things that he needed to do, but he was able to just ask questions at the point that he was instructed that go back to Egypt. And we are able to see that he was able to go back to where he was wronged, and it was not so long that he actually went back and he just said, but I can't, God, I've done bad things there. How can I go? I'm not able to talk properly. How am I going to face Pharaoh? And it wasn't easy. As we know, many people will say, no, it was easy. He had God's full hand and God went before him. But we need to see that there is some things in life that our obedience, our submission to God's authority, we are able to actually just um, see how God works. Just when we submit to Him, He goes before us. So we go to the original government of the Hebrew people that was patriarchal. So the head of the family, the patriarch, exercised supreme rules over all his descendants. His married son did the same thing with their children, and and after the father's death, the firstborn succeeded him in supreme headship. Only a man of mature age came into these positions. So we see that they became known as elders, and the term means literally one with a gray beard. With the Hebrews journeyed into Egypt, um, we see that 400 years before the time of Moses, the patriarch was a man by the name of Jacob, now called Israel, who was the son of another patriarch, Isaac, who had been the son of the original tribal leader Abraham. And then the entire group was still known as the children of Israel or Israelites. It was this group of people who were forced into slavery in Egypt and were eventually set free under the leadership of Moses. So we see when God commissioned Moses and sent him back to Egypt to lead the freedom march towards the promised land is said to first, the first thing is should do on returning to Egypt was to contact the old tribal elders. We see that it's a very, very important thing that we are highlighted there. There was also, um, you know, the thing that we need to also see that they found um, old people as important. And most of us in our days now, we actually find them not important. We find them as if they don't really need much of um, them around, or even we find them like they maybe taking up our time or just taking up space, but they are important, full of wisdom, and that's why God sent Moses to them. Um, what we need to learn in this lesson today is that God calls man to carry out his will on earth, and God delegates authority to men, and we are to submit to those who God has set over us in leadership. And usually we don't find it important, but we need to understand where God comes from. He sees whenever He appoints someone, it is in His will, and He will be able to guide that person. We find that there's many submission. There's submission in marriage, there's submission at work, we have submission in churches, we have submission at home, parents over their children, we have submission to ourselves, to the Lord, as we need to be submissive to the authority of God and to obey Him more than any other person on this earth and ourselves. So, the memory verse I would like to leave you with today is coming from